So for that, first you have to understand what is time really and how is time created. Let's start with your own experience of deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is no time. If I ask you, after the dreaming state, you went into deep sleep. Do you know how long you were in deep sleep? You will say, no, I don't. I have no idea how long I was in deep sleep. Whether it was 2 minutes or 2 hours or 8 hours, I don't know. Yeah, because in deep sleep, there is no time. Now tell me why there is no time.
I have no memory of it. The mind is asleep basically, so it's not registering anything. Is that right?
Yeah. So what is time?
So time is a function of. It is an what's the word? It happens because of the mind. So the mind isn't there. It's an artifact of the mind, basically.
Correct. So actually, time is nothing but one thought after another, one object after another. Because there is a series of objects, it gives me an illusion of time passing by. But when there are no objects, absolutely zero objects, then there is nothing like time. So you see, that is how time is an illusion. The same applies to space. Yeah, time, space are not two separate. If you've read Einstein's theory, they are the same thing. Yes, the same applies to space. Space is also created by distance between two objects. But if there is no experience of objects in the state of deep sleep, there is no space. So there is no time and there is no space. Okay? Now, we understood that it is not that there is a bigger waking state in which there is a dream state, in which there is a smaller deep sleep state. It's exactly the opposite, if you remember. The biggest is the deep sleep state. Within this deep sleep state, the mind arises as a vibration of that knowingness or consciousness. The thought activity begins. Yes? And that thought activity itself gives a rise to a waking reality. We feel that there are objects, but really it is not different from the perceiving happening in the dream state. Right now, you and I could be having this conversation in a dream state. You would feel the same, you would, have the same thoughts. If some feelings come up, say intense feelings come up, you feel the same intense feeling in a dream state as you do in a waking state. So really there's not much of a difference in dream and waking. The only difference is in the mind. The mind is semi-conscious and semi-asleep in the dream state, and the mind is fully awake, fully functional in the waking state. Clear? That's why we experience time and space in dreaming state and in the waking state, but not in the deep sleep state. Clear? So from this, the clarity dawns that really time and space do not exist. That is also creation of the mind. It happened during the dreaming state that it emerged and it became fully functional in the waking state. Every night, this fully functional state reduces to the dreaming state, where it is partly functional, there's partly time, there's partly space, and it's partly not there. And then a point comes where even that comes to a stop, and there is no time, no space. Yeah? So this is how Advaita explains it, that there is no time and no space. It is just my mind phenomena. Yeah? So now what happens when somebody gets enlightened? When somebody gets enlightened, they see this truth that time and space do not really exist. It is just mind phenomena. So does the enlightened person not go out and do things? No. He is blessed with a body-mind complex. He's blessed with a family or work or whatever he has to do. He continues doing it. But there is a shift in his perspective now. Yeah? First, he used to live the same life as that ego involved very much in the drama of the mind. But now he lives his life as the knower of this mind, knower of this waking world. But he's very clear that this is who I am. Yeah, that is